On YouTube, I have been referred to as being called an agent. And it's good that they call me that because it's true. But the question is, an agent of what? It's a compliment when your enemies and people that are against you see you as an agent. Because to be an agent, not just an informant, you follow what I'm saying? But an agent, that means you must have some level of precision about what you're doing. Some showing of some professionalism and some training about what you're doing. Some exact methodology, right? To even be associated with that. They could have associated me with something else. With an alcoholic, with a drunkard man, right? They could have associated me with somebody lazy, somebody ignorant, somebody incompetent. But they associated me with an agent. I said, wow, that's powerful. But I am an agent for the black CIA. The Black Central Intelligence Agency. I have centralized all intelligence of the black schools of thought. From the Nation of Islam, to the Five Percenters, to the Moorish Science Temple of America. I have centralized the teachings of these different groups into an intelligence strategy. New Black Panther Party included, into an intelligence strategy to liberate our people. So somebody called me an agent again, and then I operate like an agent. The key is an agent what? I'm an agent of black supremacy. And I will centralize intelligence and information and my skills, ability, and aptitude to ensure the victory of us with black supremacy over European imperialism. I can guarantee that. So next time somebody calls me an agent, I'm proud of that, because that means what I'm doing is working. That means black supremacy is working on black devils and on the strategies that white people are putting in effect in our community. It's working for me to be looked at as an agent. You don't see the agent, you see the shit that he's doing working. So, damn, he must be an agent, but this shit working. That's a fact. So the question is, who's agent? And many of them people that are calling me an agent, they're agents too, but they're the agents that need to be worried about, because they're not agents of black supremacy. They're agents of white supremacy. I am an agent of black supremacy, of black nationalism, black empowerment, black Pan-Africanism, black love. I'm an agent of instituting that. I'm not an agent of black hate, black self-hate, black degradation, black lack of cooperation, you know what I'm saying? Lack of harmony, lack of motivation. I'm not an agent of those things. I'm not an agent of being a fiduciary agent of the white man's corporations. I'm not an agent of that. I'm an agent of black supremacy. So that's my question to the conversation in regards to me being an agent. The answer is yes. The agent of black supremacy. Now, what I wanted to go into on this particular lecture, I wanted to talk about the reality of black supremacy from the perspective of the work that we have to do. A lot of people have a problem, specifically light-skinned people within our community, when we say black supremacy. It bothers them, because it is though that the people are saying because we are darker than lighter people, that we are better than them. We think that we are better than them. And that it is an imbalance in our community based on skin tone. And I would disagree with that. And anyone who would make that position does not understand black supremacy. Now, me, myself, I'm more of a perfect blackish brown, or a brownish black. I'm not as dark as a Sudanese in Africa. You follow what I'm saying? I'm not as dark as the darkest Nigerian, or even the darkest Haitian, or even the darkest Jamaican. But I represent them, though, in who and what I am. So the black supremacist movement was not created to induce low self-esteem based on skin color. But it was meant for us to acknowledge our roots. Follow me with this, I'm going somewhere. We acknowledge our roots historically, to say we were the original black people of the planet Earth. And we talk about Lucy, and we talk about how black these pharaohs were on the walls in Kemet. Because our root, and the root of the planet, is the original black man. And that original black man is blue black. You can't mean to go and tell me that you love our history, and that you're trying to make a Sankofa, which is to go back to your history, but you cannot come present to your roots in physical manifestation. When you see a dark, melanated person, you are seeing the root of the black nation. That's our root. We talk about the movie Roots. You feel what I'm saying? And going back to our history and getting in touch with who we are. But that's something that is abstract. But our roots are walking around on the planet, bleaching their skin. You understand what I'm saying? Our roots are going unrespected, racially profiled, in prison, locked up. Our roots are getting the brunt and the negative ends of white supremacy to the most. Not Barack Obama. Not Farrakhan. Not Jeremiah Wright. Not Haile Selassie. The list goes on. They're not getting the brunt. But our living root, the same melanin that was put on the boat, is being oppressed today. Not just in America, but all over the world. We say we want to connect back to our roots and love our history and love who we are and love who we came from. But that does not mean love of people. You hear what I'm saying? We say we love dinosaurs, but then we go and dig up their bones because there are no existing dinosaurs. So we become anthropologists and we excavate and go dig up fossils because we love dinosaurs. If you love your roots, then you love the living root in your people. You love those who represent the root. You love those who represent the original in our original form. You don't just say I'm a historian, but you have no respect for the walking and living roots. We spend $1,000s on books and literature talking about getting back to our roots and our history, but we don't send any resources to Africa to try to help our people. We don't fight imperialism wherever we see it. We don't fight white supremacy wherever we see it, but we claim we're getting in touch with our roots. I'm making a point here. If we love our roots, we must have great reverence and respect for those who are in the original manifestation of our roots. You know why? Because that's the end of self-hate. It's one thing to say you love history. You love Shaka Zulu and Tasana Overture. You love Hannibal. You love this historical reality. But you cannot love a living black being. They go to Africa to see the pyramids in Sudan and step over starving people that are impoverished and hungry. The root people go neglected, avoided, imprisoned, starving, homeless, without the root people today, as though being black is just history. That our root is not a present reality today. That the original black man is not on the planet anymore. I'm here to tell you that the original black man is being oppressed on the planet today. And if we don't become humanitarian, a living humanitarianism, then we have only become worshippers of a new type of mythology. We don't reverence the root. We got to reverence the root. If you don't, then you should give up Afrocentricity. You should stop talking about African culture as though a form of dress code is important than the root of a being, than an entity that represents that which you came from. A piece of fabric is more important than the originators of all fabric customs and cultures. That a book or an accreditation by African-centered institution is more important than the organic living manifestation and reality of our root. I'm here to tell you that in the world today, those of us that are away from the root, that have mixed in with the European, that have got away from the root self, are a minority. And that the root is the majority. And the majority of us are treated negatively. I'm not talking about the people in America. I'm not talking about people in America. Y'all ever researched the prison in Haiti? Let's look at this on an international level. The majority of us that represents our root suffer from European imperialism. Suffer. The majority of us. So to show that we have really become conscious, compassionate, and have reverence for our history, we must now reverence living beings. You know what I'm saying? That hurts. Because we don't fuck a nigga. I'm going to be deep. I'm going to get deep on information. I'm going to get deep on knowledge. I can't deal with people or persons. But your ancestors was people and persons, and they're not here anymore. But you can't reverence those in their likeness. You can't reverence those that have reincarnated, that embody the likeness of your ancestors. That's superficial. That's contradictory. So black supremacy is not to make people of different shades of brown feel negative about themselves, but it's to make them have reverence for the root of their existence. The original black man is the root of the planet Earth. Am I correct? Are there any original black men left on the planet today? We study our people like they are dinosaurs. We study our people like they're the Tasmanians, or like they certain Native American tribes, because that's how much we have overlooked the reality of black existence. As though no more black kings can exist. That's a historical thing. No more black men of divinity. No more great black men can actually exist on the planet to be reverenced. So we reverence the dead over the living as a method to ignore the living. I'm going somewhere. We reverence the dead over the living as a methodology to ignore the living, because the living reality, the living lesson, the living curriculum is that a nigga ain't shit. So the method of staying true with that is to elevate and exalt history above the present. I love Khalid Muhammad. I love Harriet Tubman. But I can't find black people to love today. They're all beneath the type of love that we render to Harriet Tubman or to Khalid Muhammad. But this love could not be rendered to them while they was alive, because the living nigga ain't shit. So they had to die, you follow, to get reverence. But it takes reverence. People say it's going to take us knowledge to get to a particular level. We got to get all this knowledge and this information. But you need reverence. A certain amount of knowledge creates irreverence, because it's just too much. It's excess. It has no real position. It doesn't really mean anything. You just got, I'll read another book and another book. We have no reverence. And if we don't have reverence for anything, how can we establish something? How can we talk about we believe in a black God and in a divine people, but we don't have reverence for anything? There's no real reverence for nothing living. And we wonder why the living is dying. The living is being cast aside, while the living have no power. Because we don't revere the living. It's superficial. It's superficial. We say black people ruled in the past, and I only ask, why were they only able to rule in the past? Because the white man wasn't there? No, because we had reverence in the past. We had reverence. Shaka Zulu would not have been able to rule without the reverence of his people. There are no black kings and pharaohs and black queens and goddesses where there is no black reverence. I don't care how much knowledge and books and scholarships and information that you have. How could they rule? How could they unify as a synergistic force to fight off imperialism if there was no reverence? We have no reverence today. We've become scholars. So when we set up a temple of the black God, when we talk about black supremacy, we're talking to a place of great reverence for ourselves, for who we are, for our roots, for our people. We could have said the school of black consciousness, couldn't we?